There's a big debate happening on my LinkedIn feed right now over whether AI is a truly transformative technology or whether it's completely overhyped or somewhere in the middle. I think it's more than just hype, but I want to be clear about what I see as just cool tools like meeting summaries or changing the tone of my emails, and what I see as truly transformative, which I'll get to at the end of this video. But first, I want to address some of the points and arguments being made by those who are saying that it's just hype. And it just so happens that David Danto, one of my best friends in the industry for about as long as I've been in the industry, just put out an article, and I'll put a link to it below so you can read it in his own words, which I think makes the best case for saying that it's just overhyped. And it's funny, as you'll see, I actually agree with many of the points that he makes. I just somehow come to a different conclusion. Like, to start out with, he makes a point that AI doesn't fix everything. There's a lot of serious problems we have in the business communications UC industry that AI doesn't solve. And he's funny about it. He says, hey, ask Copilot to fix this problem and this problem. And it's particularly effective because David knows this industry. He has a list, and it's a good list of valid problems, things that the industry should be fixing and isn't fixing, and things that AI will not fix. Copilot will not have an answer to these problems. And I have a two-part response to that. The first part is, it doesn't have to solve everything. Transformative doesn't mean that it solves everything. What about the cloud revolution? Cloud changed everything. It didn't solve everything. It kind of made some things worse. It made a lot of things better. But no one says that cloud wasn't a transformative technology. But I could list, it's kind of a lot of things on the same list of things that it just did not solve. Now, the second part, I said this was a two-parter. The second part of this is something I actually completely agree with, which is we're spending so much time on AI because it's so sexy and so great on the press that we might be distracted from otherwise solving these problems. In other words, it's not just that, okay, fine, it's not AI's job to solve these problems, but if it wasn't for AI, we might be focusing on these problems and solving them, and AI is distracting them. That is a valid concern. I'm with you 100% on that. Well, actually, let me just make it 99%, because some of the problems like interop, we don't have interop problems because we're distracted by AI. We have interop problems because the vendors don't want to solve interop. So some of the problems just, it's not AI's fault. It's not distracting us. But I am with you that the distraction of AI could be stopping us from solving some non-AI related problems. So that deals with what AI can't do. But now looking at what AI can do, Dave moves on to make an argument. And it's a good argument that a lot of what we're talking about, it really isn't transformative stuff. It's tools. Some of it is great tools, cool tools, useful tools. Meeting summaries are amazing. It's not transformative, but it is more than just interesting. It is very cool. It is very helpful. It does help with productivity. I would pay a lot of money for someone to sit next to me and take meeting notes that are that good. And honestly, it would take them 6 months of sitting in my meetings to have enough context to be as good as AI is. Yes, it makes mistakes, but so do humans. It still gives really good meeting summaries. But I agree, as great as they are and as much as I love them, it's just a tool. And when I click on my email and say, change the tone of this, and it makes it more friendly, yeah, that's cool and it's new and it's amazing and I love it. But I agree with Dave on this. It's just a tool. None of these things, and I think Zoom and Microsoft, by mixing what I'm about to get to, I'm kind of, holding off on this. What is transformative with all the stuff that's not transformative has kind of confused things. For me, what's transformative is very specifically the iteration of this AI, the way it's presented, when I can treat it like a human being who remembers me persistently day after day. They all don't have this yet. Zoom, it's supposed to be out this month, AI Companion 2.0. I would argue that anything before that, 1.0, wasn't a real companion. Companion 2.0, it's supposed to be like ChatGPT or like Copilot for Windows when I hit that button on my keyboard. And it's connected to the internet, it could search things for me, and it remembers me. When I log in, I don't just say, rewrite this paragraph in a different tone. I say, hey, it's me, David. And it will, well, I do this now with ChatGPT. It says, hey, David, do you need help with your YouTube channel? I know you're very focused on it. Which of the projects that we're currently working on do you want us to move forward? It knows me. It's like a person. That's how I calculate its value. What would it cost me to have a person sitting next to me 24/7 doing everything that ChatGPT does for me now? Someone who not only can give me meeting summaries or come up with 10 ideas for a catchy title for this YouTube video, but someone that I can have a back and forth with. I have an idea for a project. I've worked for people who used to have me do this for them. David, come in and sit next to me. I have an idea for a project and I just need to talk about it. And we would just talk back and forth. I would take notes. And at the end, I would have some to-dos. That's a valuable employee. And ChatGPT, the way it is now, and Zoom Companion 2.0 and Copilot can do that. You can treat them like a person. Right now, I have projects I'm working on with Dave, projects I'm working on with Tim, projects I'm working on with Kevin, and projects I'm working on with ChatGPT. And sure, sometimes it makes mistakes. Sometimes it gives me wrong information. If I was hiring a person to sit next to me, sometimes they would make mistakes. Sometimes they would have wrong information. Hopefully they would learn and get better. But at the end of the day, you can't tell me that if I said to you, I'm going to hire you a human assistant, whatever the cost is, hundreds of thousands of dollars, I'm going to pay for it. And that person will sit in your office 24/7 with their laptop connected to the internet, ready to search things for you, ready to come up with ideas for you. And they were smart and they understood the context of your work. You can't tell me that wouldn't transform your life. And ChatGPT, these things can do this for me right now. It is transformative, but everyone in the world can have that $100,000 personal assistant. That seems globally transformative to me. So I'm going to wrap it up with a Star Trek example. I know, David, if you've watched it this far, I know you love Star Trek. So hopefully this will be a little reward for sticking with this. But to wrap it up, yes, I agree that the hype can be a distraction from real problems. Yes, I agree it's not solving all our problems, but I don't think that it has to. Yes, I agree that a lot of what we talk about when we talk about AI is not transformative. The meeting summaries, it's great stuff, but it's not transformative. But to end, what I do think is that when you treat it like a person, it becomes transformative. So much so that there was a Star Trek episode about how transformative this technology is. In this episode, Geordi's trying to solve an engineering problem. So he has the computer make a virtual replica, a hologram of a scientist for him to talk to. So he's talking back and forth, trying to figure out the problem. And the scientist, she's responding. She's basically like Alexa or Siri. She's robotically responding. And he can't work with her that way. So he basically says to give her a little bit of a personality. And she starts sounding like ChatGPT. All of a sudden, she becomes very helpful and engaged, and let's get this project moving. She felt like how I feel like it felt like when I was talking to ChatGPT, and all of a sudden they got to work. It was so transformative, they made a Star Trek episode about it.
It's me, Leah. Don't start calling me Dr. Brahms or I'll call you Commander LaForge. We've managed to maintain energy, but we can't leave it in this realignment forever without burning out components. Are you with me?
Yeah.
You see that? As soon as he kind of flipped on her ChatGPT personality, things start happening, the project starts moving, they start solving the problem, they're getting to work. This technology makes me feel, for the first time, the way Geordi seemed to feel in that clip. This is more than just a tool. This is a helper. This is an assistant. This is a companion. This is a co-pilot, whatever you want to call it. This is the Alfred to my Batman. This is the technology we've been waiting for. So yes, it is overhyped. Yes, it is overhyped. But it is also amazing and transformative, and I am all in. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.